Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.
You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven.
A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on ubnradio.com.
And welcome. My name is Dr. Marissa, your cheerleader for happiness 88% of the time. And you're listening to my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, exclusively for a little more time on Universal Broadcasting Network, transmitting from the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California. And I'm here with my good-looking and talented station manager, Tony Sweet, and my sensational sound engineer, Christian Guerrera. And exclusively only for 2 more shows because I start my 3rd year on the air by adding NBC News Radio to my show stops. Yes, you can still get me on Tuesday at noon on UBN and on Thursday now for your drive home commute. Tune into KCAA AM 1050 NBC News Radio on your dial for more Dr. Marissa, splattering you with hope and happiness 88% of the time. I am truly grateful to be invited to join the NBC family after being a guest on one of their shows, Smart Money Talk Radio, and being honored on their special series, Women Making a Difference in Business. And the rest of it is history and the future. And I'm so grateful that I get to do that. Thank you so much, all of my past guests, all of my sponsors, all of my staff, all of everyone who has supported me over the last couple of years. This all started as a dream, literally, and was woken up at 4:30 in the morning with the word radio, and here we are. So thank you, 谢谢. That's Chinese Mandarin for thank you. And as you've noticed, we have our beautiful Sharon Pierre-Louis here today because today's episode is another special for our Radio for Our Deaf Community series, because I did bring a very special guest who is now parking. So we will come back to that in a minute. So I have some time to, first of all, be my Asian Oprah self that I'm introduced to. And for those of you who don't know, I've had a lot of past Oprah guests on the show. Janine Roth, Dr. Pat Allen, Dr. John Gray, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, Don Miguel Ruiz, Christine Devine, Melody Beattie, Marianne Williamson, all over the place. And so I also won the Asian Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2012. So I started getting introduced as the Asian Oprah, which is a very honorable moniker, and I'm very grateful for that. And as a result, I have to give stuff away. So today's giveaway is the last time for 4 free tickets, 1 per person, for the first 4 to go to my website now and enter in to my guest book. I want to go to the California Women's Conference, and then I will email you back today and give you the code, and you will get free ticket, anywhere from $159 to $254, I believe, value for tickets. So please do visit me online, and I will give you the code, and the first 4 to do that today will get the free tickets. Why go to the California Women's Conference? It is the largest women's conference in the world. It was begun or put on the map, actually, it was begun by Governor Duke Majan and his wife. And then Maria Shriver took it to a huge, all new big level. Oprah was there one year. Tickets are always sold out. And then there was a hiatus, and then Michelle Patterson stepped up. She's the CEO of Women Network and various nonprofits, and she decided to bring it back to the Long Beach Convention Center. So we are in our second year with Michelle. I'm honored to be on the board of that. So you have to come. It is May 19th and 20th at the Long Beach Convention Center, and we have an amazing cast of characters. We have Gina Davis, an actress that I love, who's using, like Fran Drescher, one of my past guests, her notoriety or her name to help with those, with another nonprofit, with funds, with ways to help those who need a little help helping themselves. So Gina Davis, Jane Pauley, Ariana Huffington, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, the Hendricks, who you gonna call? Ray Parker Jr. and Richie Sambora. We have just you have to go to the website CaliforniaWomansConference.com and see the lineup. It's fabulous. You get the link through my website, the number 4 balance.org, to get those free tickets and be there May 19th and 20th. You'll have to especially come on the 19th because last year I got to be part of the opening. This year I actually am doing a session, and it is called Breaking the Sex Ceiling. Breaking the sex ceiling, because, as you know, on the air, we've been talking about sex because I wanted to bring the light and bright side of sex to the listeners, because we are afraid to talk about it. We think of it just as the dark side or the perversion, and so I wanted to bring it into the light. So along with my series every last Tuesday of the month, Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa, as well as now at 2:30 at the Long Beach Convention Center, my co-presenter Devi Ward, who is one of the two women, I think it's the other one is a woman, but the two people in the United States who are certified by the Tibetan monks to be able to teach this one form of tantric keys to happiness through tantric sex. So you won't want to miss it. Monday, May 19th at the Long Beach Convention Center. So be there. And without further ado, I am so impressed with this young man who I brought into the studio. I thought it would be a perfect Mother's Day gift to our listeners as well as to myself. I met him at Agape, where he was awarded the in our history, the season for nonviolence, we give out awards, and one of the awards went to this amazing young man named Gerry Orts. And let me find your introduction. I somehow have, here we go. And Gerry Orts, at the age of 8, began doing this work, filmmaking, talking about bullies and why bullies need some help themselves, and how kids who are bullied need to have some help. He made films. He convinced at the age of 10, I believe, the California Senate to proclaim 12-12-12 at 12, a day of non-bully or bully prevention awareness day. You'll correct me that later. So I was just so impressed. I went up to him afterwards. He has 2 great moms. I have one of the moms in the studio now, Kate. And so without further ado, I'd like us to welcome Gerry Orts and his mom, Kate.
Yay! Welcome to the studio. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Let's bring that really close to you so you don't have to lean so far forward. Awesome.
There we
Take
go.
a deep breath. I want you to do something for me. I want you to close your eyes gently, and I want you to take me back. I like to do this kind of travel back in time. And I want you, I will have plenty of time to talk about your great nonprofit, the great work that you're doing, but I want you to take me back to when this all started. What happened to you at school? Take me back to the school. What was said? Who said it? How did you feel? What happened after that? So take me back.
Well, pretty much what happened. I just moved to California from Florida. I heard you all heard this before. I wanted to be an actor. It was kind of my dream at then. And so we moved to California. I was in 3rd grade, completely new school. So far the day was going fine. And then about towards the end of the day, I started getting bullied. And because I was very open, I went to kids and I said, hey, my name is Gerry and I have 2 moms. So kids bullied me because of that, because of being so tall, because of kind of trying to be a teacher's pet. And after so many, about half a year of bullying, it kind of inspired me after I told my parents to do something about it, because this should not be happening.
Great.
Bullying is not something that should be done at school.
Okay, take a deep breath. And now gently open your eyes and look at me. Before we launch in, I just want to say that you are an extraordinary young man, and that I hope you know that your life and what you're doing, I'm going to give you the Dr. Marissa Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award right now. And whatever you do for the rest of your life, I want you to know that you're appreciated and you're of value. You already know that. I know you already know that, but I have a feeling you're a little bit of a overachiever like I am. And sometimes we forget to just take the breath and just say, I did good. I'm doing good. It's not an ego thing, but it is where we get our connection to the good, where we get that, yeah, it's good. And if nothing ever happens, and I know it will, it's good right now. So take that breath. This studio is so full of love right now. Do you feel it?
I do feel it. What an honor.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so you're teased. You're 8 years old. You're in grade 3. I'm not going to say what school you were going to, but these are all kids, boys and girls.
Mostly boys.
Mostly boys, okay. And then what would they say to you? How would they tease you? And the reason why I'm doing this, I don't want you to relive a nightmare or something, but we have listeners. We have moms listening. We have kids listening, because I've been promoting this. I wanted kids who were off school, or later in the podcast, they're going to listen to it when they're off school. So I think one of the things when kids are bullied, they think they're the only ones, or they don't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing, right? Okay. So I want you to tell me exactly what kinds of things you were feeling and what was going through your head.
Well, what kinds of things I was feeling? I was kind of feeling like I was doing something wrong, because I really didn't know what bullying was. Before in Florida, I did not experience one bit of bullying.
Okay.
I went to schools where bullying was restricted very nicely. They took good care of it, and I was like, what is going on? Did I do something wrong? Is this my fault? And they said things to me like, fag, you shouldn't be along, you're a disgrace of nature. Pretty much things to make me feel bad that I have 2 moms and I am who I am.
That's tough. That's tough. Did you tell your moms right away?
Not right away. It was actually almost when 3rd grade was almost over when I finally told them, and they told me, why didn't you tell us?
Right.
And I was like, I didn't want to put more stress on you, and they told me about bullying, which kind of led me to starting all of this.
Right. I also experienced bullying when I was about the same age, and I was born in this very tiny town in Canada where a lot of people were German, and there was one Asian, one black, one Indian, and that was it. And I can remember being put in a stairwell corner, and I can feel it again, and there's just some sadness, but I'm not there, but I can pull it up and go, if I have compassion for the little girl that I was, who didn't know how to respond when I was, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these, and I was just like horrified. What have I done to deserve this? Have I said something wrong? Is there something wrong with me? And the first time, I didn't tell my parents as well, because my father I'd heard him a couple of times say, we never should have left China. Okay, so I knew if I came home with this, he would really say, I should have never left China. And of course, I took it until the pressure got so bad where I was so distraught that I would come home crying, that I finally told him, and sure enough, he said, I should have never left China. And so I would continue, for the next 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't say anything. And there was no way to fight back because I didn't want to admit that I was hurt, too. That was the other thing. I didn't want anybody to know that this actually impacted me. So, okay, so we got that feeling, okay. What finally got you to go, I have to say something?
Well, some completely other reason, not really bullying whatsoever. I changed schools, and that I felt like, you know what, it's done. No matter what happens, I shouldn't feel embarrassed. It's over. So I finally told them, and that what led me to what's going on? Why did you not tell us?
Okay, so you told your moms that you were bullied, and you went to the school. Mom, welcome to the studio. Aren't you?
Thank you so
I
much.
can't believe. I'm sure you're so proud of them all the time.
We are.
There's
We are.
that goes without saying. I'm proud of him. I'm not his mom. So I'm proud of my kids very, very much. But go ahead. So he came to you. What happened?
Well, the very first feeling was, it's funny you said that, we should never left China. We were like, we should never left Florida, and, why is this happening?
Right.
And I know one of the reasons why Gerry was picked on is because I came to school a couple of times for various events, and kids picked up on my accent. So he was still saying that you're not American, your mom is not, from here.
And it's a beautiful accent. Where is it from?
Ukraine, Russian.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And so, definitely I felt a little bit of guilt, and we felt a little bit, we felt like we didn't prepare him.
Right.
And I think that
And your wife's heritage is
she is from New Jersey.
from New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, so
Jersey
New
girl.
Jersey accent and a Ukrainian accent.
Yeah.
All right.
We are a wonderful combination. And
Yes.
we were absolutely, of course, we were very upset, and we sat down and we talked to him. And what we realized as parents, and I think what's important, kind of to throw the word out there, it's never too soon to start talking about it, because a lot of parents think my kids are too young, they will not understand.
Right.
I'll talk to them when they're mature enough to be able to understand what we're talking about.
Right.
And I think we need to give our kids benefit of a doubt. They understand, and they can, they can definitely comprehend much more than we expect. And we thought that we should have had that conversation with him sooner. We never expected that this is going to happen. We definitely saw the change in him.
Right.
He is a very lively child, as you can see.
Yes.
And he
Shy
is-
like
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Sarcasm is another service I offer.
Yes. Shyness and modesty, just not in his vocabulary. So
We'll get along. No wonder we get along.
So we definitely saw immediately change when we moved. He started school. All of a sudden, he shut down. He stopped talking. He stopped laughing. He lost interest in things that typically interested him. He was
Right.
talking Hollywood and movies. And, one of the reasons we moved here, so he can have that opportunity. And
Sure.
all of a sudden, he just, I don't even know if I want to do this. And we're like, really?
Right. We
What's-
moved here.
What's happening?
Uh-huh.
So when he talked to us, it definitely kind of clicked all together. We sat down, we had a long discussion. We talked about debug, one of the famous techniques that a lot of schools are using, especially for younger kids. And
What is that?
debug?
Debug?
Yeah.
Yes, it's pretty much a 5-step rule. It's pretty much if you're being bullied, 1, ignore them. 2, walk away. 3, ask them to stop it politely. 4, ask them to stop it a bit more rudely. And 5, get in a trusted adult.
Wow. Awesome. Debug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So it does the letter stand for something? Is that why? Or it's just a
No, it's just the name.
No, it's just a word because a lot of schools using that.
Right, right.
Because it's
That's great.
yeah, you debugging, right?
Yes,
You know
yes.
what's the problem.
Yes.
And so we talked to him about it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when I think it clicked with Gerry that why have I not heard about it before?
Right.
And he's in elementary school, 3rd grade. Why have I not heard about it before? Why am I hearing it from you, my parents, right now?
Right.
And in addition to that, there was another event that happened on TV in one of his favorite shows. If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was Ellen DeGeneres show. I'm sure you've heard of that show. Pretty much, sadly, there was a bullying suicide,
Mm.
and I believe she had a family on the show, and she was just talking about it, and that kind of inspired me. This should not be happening. Kids go to school to learn, to have fun,
Right.
to make friends,
Right.
not to be
Right.
experienced by something like this.
I want people to see your fabulous, cute face. So let's do that.
Okay.
So you heard the Ellen DeGeneres, you saw that, and so that inspired you to actually do something about your bad experience.
Right.
And that's what you get a lot of credit for, because this happens to a lot of people. Bullying happens. Some people say it's an it's a normal part of growing up, which is bullshit talky. It does not have to be a normal part of growing up. And so then you went, okay, I want to help make this stop. So then what happened?
Well, I made a film before because it's funny how I started filming. It was mostly from impatience because I was an actor and I thought, I'm not getting any roles. This is kind of boring. Why don't I just make myself a role? So
I love it.
the only thing I could come up from that idea was making a movie. So I made a little film, ironically called Meeting Ellen.
Uh-huh.
And so I got the crew that I used for that movie back together, and we made a short film called Day of Silence.
Has Ellen seen the first one yet?
We've sent the movie to her,
Okay.
and we don't know if we saw her.
Well, we'll send this clip to her. How's that? So then you made a second film, which is
Born to Bully.
Born to Bully. So A Day of Silence was the next one. And actually you can see that on YouTube, right?
Yes, and Born
Okay.
to Bully is also on YouTube, and both movies got a lot of feedback, a lot of good, positive feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So we are actually making a third film called Equation of Life. It's about 32 minutes long, and in September it is going to be available for licensing. In October it's going to be available for DVD buying or
Wow.
commercial sale.
Great. So how old are you?
I'm 12,
Okay. So and how old did you start doing this?
about 8,
Eight.
9 years
Okay.
old.
Okay. You're strange, but in a good way. I mean, most kids are playing. Okay. I mean, this is great. This is absolutely, he's being the change that he wants to see. So that's awesome. Okay. So how did you get in front of the California Senate? I mean, that was just like, what? I knew I had to have you on the show then.
So one thing before Gerry will continue with the California Senate,
Yes.
I wanted to kind of point out that his big breaking news for today was that this is the first time we're officially announcing that the Equation of Life was picked up for distribution and will be available commercially in stores and online for digital.
Wow.
by
Okay, drum roll.
October.
You got the drum roll? Okay, let's do that
So
again.
you
This
get
is
the
the
breaking news.
first. This is the breaking news. Here we go. Okay. Announcing on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Today's special guest, Gerry Orse, is announcing...
We are announcing that we are releasing in September for licensing for our 32-minute film called Equation of Life, and in October it is going to be commercial. It's going to be online, it's going to be in stores. It's going to be pretty much you can go store and pick it up and take it home and watch it.
And this is a 12-year-old filmmaker, by the way. Just in case you thought he used oil of Olay and he's older than he looks, he actually is only 12. And it got picked up by a distributor.
Yeah.
That's
TDC distribution, we're very
phenomenal.
grateful.
That's
Yes.
phenomenal. I am one of the sponsors of the Newport Beach Film Festival, so maybe we can slide that in there for next year.
That would be
Maybe.
awesome.
That would
Maybe.
be fantastic.
Wouldn't
I'd
that be
love to go.
something? That would be. All right. Gears are moving. So, okay, and that movie is about.
It's pretty much, it's about from all angles. It's from the the victim's perspective, the bully's perspective, and the bystander's perspective.
Ooh, okay. So give me a teaser, because I think the other reason why I wanted to have you on the show is you weren't a bully bust. I mean, you're a bully buster, but you weren't a bully blamer, and that really, really hit my heart. That you, as someone who'd been bullied, actually has compassion and are not blaming the bullier.
Yeah, pretty much a bully is never born to bully. That's why the movie's called Born to Bully, but pretty much why the reason mostly kids bully is because they're bullied somewhere else. They're either bullied by another kid at school, a sibling, very commonly a parent, and it's just horrible, and that's pretty much what it shows in the film, that even though the bully seems so horrible, so evil, really, he's not.
Right.
He's innocent. He was just a little kid before that loved and had fun and played games and was lighthearted and jumpy, just like the main character. But turned out to be a bully just because of one family member.
Right. And the stats will prove you absolutely. The research shows that the majority, if not all, bullies have some kind of trauma in their own past. And so they are very unhappy themselves, they're troubled themselves, and this is the way that they try to make themselves feel good. And it is one of those patterns that has continued for generation after generation, because nobody said, this has got to stop. So the great news is there's more awareness now than there ever has been, so that's the good news. Just like sexual harassment, just like any kind of dark, discriminatory practice, though, when you first put some light on it, it scurries underground or it scurries into the dark. And so I do know, and I applaud, and I continue. We have to keep pushing. We have to keep moving in this direction, or it will just, lay dormant and then rear its ugly head again. Obviously, if you listen to the news, those old belief systems of some of the people who should know better just come out because they're underground, and they will come out if they're not thinking before they open their mouth. So what we're trying to do is flash the light, clean it out, get the infection out, make it a safe place for everyone to be alive, which in peace and joy, which is great. So I hear music right now that tells me it's time to thank this week's sponsor, and that is, and we'll do it to the music, one of my favorites. You can dance while I do this.
I like this
It's
song.
Sharon. Yeah, isn't this a great song? I love this song. I changed it. It used to be Don't Worry, Be Happy. But, oh good, I get people to dance with me today. My sound engineer is so embarrassed. It's okay. Your face isn't in this. Today's sponsor, who jumped at the chance to sponsor you, by the way, is Ken and Mary Richardson of Scottsdale, Arizona. They specialize in addictions and codependence recovery counseling, workshops, and consulting for individuals, couples, families, and institutions. They offer in-office and phone sessions, especially though they are fabulous in person. So I know I have listeners all over Arizona. So if you're in Arizona, anywhere near Scottsdale, please go and make an appointment with Ken and Mary Richardson. They can be reached at 602-230-8994 or at www.rccaaz.com. R as in riches, and C as in charity, C as in complete, apple, and zoology.com. Is that good? So, Ken and Mary Richardson, and I can give them a special shout out and hello. I love you guys. They are one of the reasons why I am supported in what I do, because anytime I don't feel on top of my game, I give them a call. So thank you to Karen and Mary Richardson for supporting this episode of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on ubnradio.com.
Marissa, that's Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And you see the lovely Sharon Pierre-Louis here making this fabulous program today, part of the Radio for Our Deaf community series. Thank you, Sharon Pierre-Louis, for doing the magic that you do with your hands. What a beautiful language. And in our studio today is the amazing child wonder, Gerry Orrs, and his mom, Kate, who are here sharing with us his journey to getting the California Senate to proclaim 12-12-12 at 12. When there was a moment of silence for, what is it exactly called? The bully?
It's called National Bullying Prevention Day.
National Bully Prevention Day. I saw the little clip on YouTube. What an amazing opportunity for you to get up and address the Senate. Yes, and they look like they were super kind to you. Yes, for politicians.
It was so much fun. I went there twice. Once for both years. This year, 2014, is going to be the third year of Day of Silence. It is now going to be 3 years old. But both times, they're very nice, all positive, and it was just a lot of fun. Pretty much how we got there, it was really surprising. We didn't know how connections happen, but a connection to a connection
It's a friendly
happened.
universe. It's a friendly universe.
Small world.
Yes.
And we pretty much just got a call one day, normal day, pretty much got a call from the senator of our area saying, we want you to come to Sacramento and talk to the Senate.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And you know, that brings up, I was thinking about this morning. You know, today is day 13 on my 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. And day 13, every day 13, I take a breath and remember all the victims of the worst Orange County massacre in Seal Beach, my hometown, when it was the salon shooting. I don't know if you remember hearing about that. And it was a horrific day. And the press said, you know, this little town's never going to recover. And, you know, it's tragedy's horrible. We think of all the tragedies that happen. You know, the Aaron Runyon's child murdered, abducted. You know, she was on my show. Paul Wilson, the husband of Christy, who died in that shooting. The Boston bombing. You know, there's tragedy all over. Bullying is one of those negative things that happen in life. And if we can take that breath and absolutely feel the compassion and the healing peace for anyone who has suffered, but then don't stay there. I think that when we stay there and we marinate in the tragedy, okay, which the news is really good at getting us to do, like we're watching TV, like if something happens and then we spend the rest of the day waiting for detail and listening to all this MSU, make shiitake up conjecture, and it doesn't help. So what helps is when tragedy happens to take that breath, send out the healing love and peace to those impacted, and then turn around and what can I do? What can I do to make a difference so whatever happened doesn't happen again? And that's what you did. So you go to California Senate. You now have a day of peace that you can anchor, or a moment of silence. And that moment of silence, what are you asking people to do in that moment of silence?
Pretty much what I'm asking to do in that moment of silence is really simple. Because I saw that only high school, maybe, very rarely, sometimes middle school, have an entire day of silence. And I thought, one, why is it just middle school and high school? Why not elementary school? And why is it the whole day? So, because whole day is kind of hard for a lot of people like me. I love talking a lot. So I decided for everybody, adults from a person that is 0 year old to 99 years old, for example, they can join us in a moment of silence on December 12th. December 12th, yes. And you can stay silent the whole day or just stay silent 12 seconds right after 12 p.m.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So, for my listeners who cannot keep their mouth shut for an entire day, I have a little modification to make sure that if you say anything, it passes 3-question test. And I got this from Dr. David out of the Chopra Center. I love him. And he's now on the other side. But he said, don't say a word unless it passes. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? So if it doesn't pass those, shut your front door. If it does pass, then you can say that. So then you don't have to be silent. So how's that? That'll be my rule on 12-12 because I'm definitely going to do it. That's great.
That's good, but pretty much what 12-12 is about, it's not just keeping silent for no reason whatsoever. It's because when victims are bullying, they keep quiet. They don't say a word, and they keep depressed in their little hole or their room or whatever, and they don't talk to anybody and just be commonly depressed. So you stay silent for that. Pretty much see what it feels like to be a victim.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so I will be quiet.
Just 12 seconds.
Just 12 seconds? Oh, I thought you meant the day. 12 seconds I can do.
12 seconds or the entire day or an hour or 12
minutes?
Or 12 minutes?
12, yeah.
Awesome. However long you want, just on that day.
That's great. That's great. So tell me, how do people find you to support you? And I went to your website, by the way. Very impressive. I know Mom had a little to do with that, maybe? No?
Actually, Mom didn't have anything to do with that. His older brother did it.
Oh, nice. What's his name?
He'll kind of get mad if I talk about him.
Oh, don't talk about him. I just wanted to give him a shout out and say thank you.
Gerry's older brother is very computer savvy, and he is the webmaster for his non-profit website, and Gerry also started a production company. He will talk about it himself.
Yes.
And so his brother right now is working on that website as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me about your projects that are coming up.
Well, the projects that are coming up in about a year or 2 years so, we want to do a tour around the country, just going to each school and talking to the kids. And if any sponsors are listening, but in all seriousness, we really do want to do that tour, and we hope to do it maybe a year or 2 years. And it's definitely one of our main goals. We, of course, want to release more films and kids' resource in about 2 or 3 years. Want to move from bullying to, because kids research is not mainly bullying, to another topic as well.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that. I thought it was very interesting that your nonprofit didn't have the word bully in it, but it's kids resource, which is that same principle. Erin Runyon that I mentioned, one of my past guests, when her child was abducted, she didn't want to call her nonprofit anything to do with abduction, murder, child, whatever. It's called Joyful Child Foundation. So yours is the same thing. You're taking something that is negative and you're making it into a positive, which I'm all about, because I'm not trying to make you drink the Kool-Aid. I am trying to make you to make lemonade or make banana bread out of your bruised bananas. So absolutely, kidsresource.org. So that's where you can find Gerry. I know that there's some of you out there who absolutely believe in what he's doing, and there's a little donate button there, so I'd encourage you to do that to fund his future projects.
Yes.
As well.
And we also have another website just kind of mainly about me if you want to just know my history, what I do, and links to all the other sites. So my friends, I have quite a lot of friends.
That's
nice.
It's
It's called gerryorz.com.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And you're going to school. You are going to school, right? You still go to school?
Yes,
Okay.
I still go to school.
I don't know how you find time to go to school, but I understand your mom gave me a little hint that you actually got accepted into.
I got accepted into, it's a very famous school called Osho Orange County School of Arts. Extremely famous school, and I'm very excited going there for 7th grade, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And I actually have really good friends whose children go there too, so you'll get to meet the Matafaris. So that's awesome.
That is
Yay.
cool.
Yeah. So what would be your message to let's do that 3-part thing that you have in your film. So what is the message to the bystander, to the bully, and to the bullied? What are the most important things?
To the bullied, I would say speak up. It's not embarrassing. It's not horrible. It's not your fault. To the bully, I would say speak up. It's not your fault. It's not embarrassing because pretty much they are both being bullied.
Right.
So they are the two of the same. And to the bystander, I would say almost the exact same thing. Speak up. If you see bullying, speak up because it's not just, oh, it's not my problem. I don't have to deal with it. It's not my business. It is your business because you can save a life. Maybe even more than one life. Maybe 2, 3 lives.
Okay, so let's do a little role play.
Okay.
Okay, so I am going to bully you. Okay. And you're going to respond to me. You've coached the bullied, okay, and you're going to say, you can debug or however you want to do the process. So I'm going to say, you are weird and you need to go back to Florida.
Well, I don't see why I am weird. Everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah, but I didn't ask for yours.
That is true. You did not ask for mine, and I'm sorry I said it. You don't have to bully me just because I'm different from everybody else.
But it's fun.
Is it cool? Is it fun?
Yeah,
is
it's
it
kind of
helping
cool. Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Why is it helping you?
Because I look like a big shot.
Why?
Because I am.
Why?
Because, okay, you got me. You went on the attack. That's good. That's good.
It's just a positive defense. I'm not trying to get a stand for you. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just trying to get you to stop bullying, and I'm trying to make you realize what you're doing isn't right.
Wow. Yeah, that was good. So now if someone comes at you, so if you're someone right now listening and you have people bullying you, if they come and actually try to hit you, what do you do?
If you can, you would dodge it. If you take the hit, tell an adult immediately. But if you dodge it, just walk away, go to the adult immediately.
Okay. And what do you say?
You say you should not be hitting other children, only if for self-defense, and that is very horrible. I'm going to tell adults.
Okay. Now, if my daughters were standing by, okay, and I'm going to get into their heads for a second and just, so if I stand by and I see it, actually it happened, I was picking one of them up and we saw 2 kids tussling and I said to them, what's going on? He said, oh, he's picking on him. He does it all the time. And I said, why does he pick on? Well, he's a little bit of a nerd and he has a little bit of an accent and he just doesn't fit in. So what should I say to my daughters as bystanders?
You should tell them, go tell an adult because this isn't right. And just because that kid is different or not a jockey or somebody like everybody else, that doesn't mean that they're not human. They're as equal as anybody else. They're as equal as the teacher or a kid or anybody.
But, and my daughters would never do this. I've got to be clear. I love my girls. 16 and 14. They're fabulous. But I know some of their friends, and it probably crosses their mind too. But Mom, I don't want to get involved. It's not my problem. It's none of my business. Plus, I don't want to be seen or known as a tattletaler.
I think honestly the word tattletailer is one of the most disgusting and horrible words in the entire world. Because you know what? No question is horrible and no complaint is horrible. Because if there's a complaint that's kind of ridiculous, like, Mom, my toe's itchy, you can be like, okay, scratch it. You never say tattletailer. I think tattletailer is a horrible word, and I just think it should never be used.
Okay. So telling the truth and trying to protect other people is never a bad thing, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I honestly think it's the most coolest thing of all.
Yeah. Yeah. Standing up and helping someone else. Mom, what is it like being a mom to a child with very big goals that he's achieving?
Well, it's interesting because he definitely has his eyes on the prize, on the goal. He knows what he wants. He knows he needs to work hard, and he does. He's probably the hardest working person that I ever known. Adults, kids, doesn't matter. He's constantly doing something because in addition to running his nonprofit and going to schools, for public appearances, which I know he enjoys tremendously, and doing the films and all of that. And now he started the production company. On top of all of that, he's also a part of the Children Media Coalition.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah, please do.
So pretty much I'm part of this fantastic organization ran by one lady. It's called Kids First. If you want more information, you can go kidsfirst.org. Pretty
Heard
much.
of that.
Yeah, it's a very, very good organization. Pretty much you can anywhere in the country, live anywhere in the country from Canada, not Canada, Canada's a country.
Oh, is this the program out of Chapman University?
No.
No. Okay.
And pretty much every year they do a competition where you submit a review of a film, a video review of any film, and you can get a chance to be an official film critic and go to premieres, screenings, and review films and see them before they come out. And it's just pretty much really cool. You interview pretty big stars. I recently interviewed Morgan Freeman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love him.
He is a very, very cool guy. He was really nice. So it's just a fantastic program, and ages 8 to 16, I believe, is allowed. So it's strictly kids, and they also have a radio show that's viewed by, just like this one, 500,000 kids.
Awesome. Awesome. I should probably figure out how we can hold hands on the air.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That would be great.
And we were so grateful. Well, Rennie Levy is the CEO of Kids First and the founder, and Rennie has been so good to us. And Gerry grew so much with her professionally and as a person. She is so patient with her kids, and she treats them like her kids or her grandkids. And the kids, they learn how to speak properly, how to be articulate, how to write nice, compulsive reviews. And when you go to that website and you read those reviews, you can see they come from the heart. You see all these interviews they're doing. And it's amazing because, kids have that perspective that we adults unfortunately losing as we get older.
Right.
We're always clouded by
cynical, worry, fear, doubt.
they see what we sometimes miss. And you also asked me a question about what it's like to be the parents of somebody like Gerry. The funny thing about it is we often go to him with questions because exactly for that reason my partner calls him a problem solver. Because we sometimes have an issue at work. We're both working, we have an issue at work, and we're like, how do I deal with the situation? What would be the better way? And we would sit down and talk to him, and he's just like, well, it's simple, and he would just lay it out for you. And we're like, this is so...
How much does he charge?
I told him, we did tell him that he should start, another business.
Yes.
But we're like, why didn't we think of that before? And this is exactly what I think his NPO is about. Kids can do and capable of doing so much more.
Yes.
Give them a chance. Give them a chance and listen to them.
Yes.
Because fortunately, I think we as parents, a lot of us, parents and teachers out there, please
Yeah.
Keep it close to heart.
Right.
Listen to your children, not listen and hear them,
Yes.
because what they say is important. You know, we often, I'm too busy, just brush them off. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yes, absolutely. Great advice. Thank you so much. We are out of time. Unfortunately, that went so fast. But thank you so much, Gerry Orts and Mother Kate, for coming to my studio and blessing me with your wisdom.
Thank you so much for letting me be here. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I'm just going to close with a quick balance bar. Actually, we don't have time for balance bar. So I'm just going to say next week, we're going to have the internationally recognized Tantra and female sexuality expert and one of the 2 people in North America qualified to teach the secret Tibetan 5-element sexual tantras, which was stemmed from a 2,600-year-old lineage of Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. Come to the studio after we do our session at Breaking the Sex Ceiling at the California Women's Conference next Monday at 2:30. So hurry, get some tickets and a seat to listen to some important ways to get more pleasure in your life. And then tune in next Tuesday with us for more at Naturally High Noon for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balance with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. Thank you, Sharon Pierre-Louis, for coming and interpreting for us this fabulous episode. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.